Joining us now is Dr. Iraj Elahi, His Excellency the Ambassador of the Islamic Republic of Iran to India. Appreciate your joining us here, Dr. Elahi, at a tough time for Iran and the world. I want to ask you straight away, has the missile strike of a couple of days ago on Israel by Iran pushed the world even closer to the brink of an escalating conflict, a conflict that could involve many more countries in the region?
We believe that Iranian missile strike not only pushed the world and the region toward escalation, but since the intention of Iran was deterrence against the invasion and violation of Israel, it has pushed the region toward stability. You know, this is a new narration of the situation in the region.
You're saying the missile strike has pushed the region towards stability?
Stability and security. How? Yeah, it's a good question. Very good question. You know, since the beginning of establishment of Israel in the occupied territory of Palestine, they have expanded their territory day by day, step by step. They have invaded different sides of Palestine. They have pushed the Palestinians to leave their homeland. They destroyed by bulldozer, by different instruments, the houses of Israeli Palestinians, and nowadays even Gaza was a Palestinian pure area which was populated by Palestinians. Now is nothing has remained in Palestine, in Gaza. Even in West Bank, they have occupied different parts of the West Bank. So comparing the current portion, Palestine, territory Palestinian, even the Mahmoud Abbas state territory to the 1947, 1963, 1967, 1973, nothing has remained for Palestine. So no one has stopped Israel from expansion. Expansionism of Israel has no limitation. So somebody should stop Israel from this. Yeah.
But Ambassador, how do you think Iran's missile attack will stop Israel? Israel has just said that they are going to retaliate. Biden might have come out and said, do not attack Iranian installations, nuclear installations. But all that talk has fallen into deaf ears when it comes to Netanyahu. Why do you say that Israel is going to stop, or it's going to deter Israel?
You know, Israel does not understand, is not committed to the international law. It has proven that it is not committed to international law. Genocide in Gaza has shown and proved to the people that Israel do not pay any attention to the human principle, ethics. So it just understands the language of force.
So they might retaliate.
Israel did not see anything in front of itself. It occupies Lebanon, in South Lebanon, even in Sabra and Shatila, inside Beirut, capital of Lebanon. They killed too many people in Sabra and Shatila camps. But when Hezbollah appeared, when Hezbollah got enough strength to push them back, they withdrew their forces from Lebanon and they went back. Of course, still there are some parts of the territory of Lebanon is under occupation of Palestine, of Israel. Regarding Palestine, you know, nowadays no one could stop genocide in Gaza. Does or did United Nations as an international structure or Security Council of United Nations or NATO or other instruction on international institutions who have influence on Israel, could they prevent or stop genocide in Gaza?
But how will your missile strike stop that? If anything, as Gita said, Israel has said they will retaliate, that Iran has made a big mistake. So if you say that there has been this bombing of the Palestinian people, of the destruction of Gaza, how is a missile strike of the kind that Iran has launched on Israel going to actually stop that? It will only embolden Israel even further to target Iran, possibly to target other parts where Iranian so-called proxies are there.
Can I just add there, is Iran prepared? Is Iran prepared for an attack by Israel? Because that's certainly something that's going to happen.
It's a good question. You know, the question has two parts. The first part is that the relation between Iranian strike to Israel and ongoing massacre in Gaza.
How is it going to stop it?
You know, we indirectly, when Israel is engaged with itself inside Israel, it will, and we targeted military bases, military installation of Israel. It has affected the military capability of this illegal and illegitimate regime to invade more or strike more Gaza. But
they denied, sir. Mr. Ambassador, they denied. They say your strikes have had no impact. If anything, in the last 48 hours, we've seen more Israeli strikes on Beirut, on Lebanon. So,
and the Beirut airport today.
And do you really believe, therefore, that Iran's missile strikes have actually, in any way, compromised Israel's ability to attack Gaza or Lebanon or indeed possibly Iran in the future?
The media in the war, during the war, or any tension, every side tried to underestimate the consequences or result of any operation. We do the same. They have, but before the start of our talk, in your channel you show that Iranian missile how hit the territory of occupied Palestine and the explosion. So they claiming that they have Iron Dome intercepted Iranian missile, and the reaction of Netanyahu and other officials of Israel shows how painful this strike have been. But
you believe your strikes have damaged Israel?
We believe that. First of all, we had no option just to retaliate the invasion of Israel on sovereignty of Iran because of assassination of Ismail Haniyeh inside capital of Iran. This is the first. The reason of our intention of our operation. This is something which should be clear for you and for your audience. This is one thing. Secondly, we targeted military and intelligence installation and structures of Israel, which affected its capability. Of course, Israel has support of United States. As you know, the new bombs which is used and deployed by Israel recently has been submitted to Israel by United States.
But you're saying your attack is for Israel's actions inside Tehran. It's not as a retaliation to the assassination of Hassan Nasrallah. The belief is that Iran has been pushed into this because you have to show the Hezbollah, you have to show your own proxies that, look, Iran will not stand by, Iran will stand with you. Is that the reason? Because the timing seems very clear. Hassan Nasrallah's assassination is followed by the missile strike.
First of all, and intentionally, the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh and violation of Ismail Haniyeh inside capital of Iran was the main reason of Iranian retaliation.
That's the main reason.
That is the main reason.
Not Hassan Nasrallah.
Hassan Nasrallah is something else. Hezbollah is enough strong. Hezbollah, You know, there is a misinformation. It should be said to you and your audience. You know, Hezbollah, despite of the media, despite of the information which is released, is a political party. I try to clarify this for Indian at least, and all people in the region, at least in the region. 1.4 billion population of India is a big figure, and this clarification should be done for them.
That Hezbollah is a political party, it's not a militia, it uses guns.
I have served in Lebanon for 4 years. I have served as diplomat in Lebanon for 4 years. I have been in Central Asia, I have been in Moscow, different countries. I have served in Lebanon too. Hezbollah is a political party. It has representative in the parliament of Lebanon, like your party. Your party, those who have member in Luxembourg.
But it has its militia, sir. It has its armed militias.
I will explain. It has ministers in the cabinet minister of Lebanon.
It does.
It is a legal party.
But Lebanon does not have a government right now, Ambassador.
In Lebanon, just a minute, just a minute. It's a sensitive issue, should be clarified for the audience to get to a clear result. I am here to clarify this. In Lebanon, there are Shia community, there are Sunni community, there are Maruni or Christian community, and there are Druze community. These four communities have, because of the weakness of the government of Lebanon,
yes,
all have party, all have educational system by themselves, health system by themselves, and even they are obliged to have militia for defense of themselves. Even Christians community have, Samir Jaja is a Maruni, it has militia. No one criticizes Christian, no one criticizes Samir Jaja.
Because Hezbollah is using its weaponry to target Israel.
Another picture.
Can you deny that?
No. Hezbollah is criticized because it is trying to liberate the occupied parts of Lebanon. Nowadays, Gajar village, Mazar Shab'a are under occupation of Israel. And Israel nowadays try to make a hub or a buffer zone inside in the south of Lebanon to, as it claims, to make Israel safe. So,
Ambassador
Samir
Elahi.
Jaja is affiliated to Israel, but and for this is not tagged terrorist. But Hezbollah is defending sovereignty of Lebanon, which is not on the benefit of Israel. So they tagged it as terrorist, and they tagged its militia as terrorists. So it could not be accepted.
Ambassador Elahi, let's just come back to the war.
Yeah.
Right now, if you look at the war, it seems like Israel does have an upper hand because Iran has suffered great losses. Ismail Haniyeh being killed or assassinated on Iranian soil.
It was painful
Hassan
for Iran.
Nasrallah in the Hezbollah headquarters in Beirut or suburbs of Beirut. Qasem Soleimani having been assassinated, and the top rung, second rung of the Hezbollah decimated. Right now, in this war, it doesn't seem like Iran has much to show for in terms of capability. Netanyahu said he can reach the heart of Tehran, despite all the security concerns. It does seem like at this point in time there are security concerns and Iran is at a disadvantage in this war?
We believe that this is not the first time that Israel has threatened Iran. This is not the first time. And the assassination of General Soleimani, assassination of Ismail Haniyeh, loss of Hezbollah, Secretary General of Hezbollah, Hassan Nasrallah, are painful for Iran. But, our main concern is our national security, our national interest. Despite they are saying that they are accusing Iran that Iran is supporting its proxy. We do not have proxy. Of course, we support the resistance group. Resistance group is acceptable in all international law.
You support Hezbollah?
We support Hezbollah. We do not deny that. We have not denied that. At the high-ranking level, Iranian official said that Iran is supporting Hezbollah. Iran is supporting resistance group in the region because they want to liberate their homeland. It is according to international law. But, the definition of terrorist is not, they are defining terrorists as they want. There is a double standard. There is a double standard. Assassination of Ismail Haniyeh inside Iran by explosion or missile or anything is not terrorist act. It's terrorist. But why many countries did not call it terrorist? Why many countries did not condemn this?
Which comes to the question, will Iran therefore find itself more isolated, be treated almost as a pariah state, not just by the West, but even by certain moderate Arab states who are worried that you are exporting this Shia, a kind of militant Shiaism across the region? Will Iran get more isolated as a result of what is happening? Are you worried, as Geeta said, are you being pushed into a corner increasingly?
We believe that our discourse has increased popularity of Iran in the region, across the world. And
even among moderate Arab countries? Even
among Arab countries. You should separate Arab state, statehood, statecraft, and people. Hassan Nasrallah, who now is called and tagged as terrorist after war 2006, 33 days war between Israel and Hezbollah, was the first man in the Arab world. According to the poll which was done by different, and even in the Western countries, all the popularity of Iran has increased. We do our discourse to defend oppressed people of Gaza, oppressed people of Palestine. So when
Mr. Netanyahu,
popularity.
So when Mr. Netanyahu says or hints at a regime change, that all of this will lead to a regime change in Iran, says my war is not against the people of Iran, it's against the leadership of Iran, and hinting at a potential regime change in Iran, what would you say?
This is a dream, For 45 days, not only Netanyahu as a puppet of United States, but the United States itself as a superpower tried to change the regime of Iran, but it failed. We are not scared about the regime change. I believe that it's time to think about regime change inside Israel. Let's think about regime change in Israel. Netanyahu has hijacked Israel, Palestinian, hijacked the whole region, hijacked the United States, hijacked the state of illegal regime of Israel, and security and stability of region for itself, for himself. Let's think about the regime change inside Israel. We believe that this situation will lead to collapse of the coalition inside Israel. Because the demonstration and uprising inside Israel and objection against the administration of Netanyahu has increased inside Israel, despite this censorship. There is no picture about the strike, the location of that Iranian missile hit or strike in Israel because of heavy censorship.
There's censorship in your country as well. Let's be clear, Mr. Ambassador. When you say there's censorship in Israel, they said neither of you're not telling the world the truth. You've not allowed anyone who resists your regime in Iran to be allowed to speak out.
Please do not use your regime. You know, Iran is Iranian government, Iranian statehood is based on the vote of people. You know, after revolution, the Islamic Republic of Iran statehood is not based on was not established after a coup d'etat. It was based on a revolution. After just less than 2 months after revolution, we conducted a polling referendum. People of Iran accepted and called the tapes of the state of Iran, and they call it Islamic Republic, not Republic of Iran.
Sure. Does it have the same support? Does it have the same support today as it had 45 years ago?
Demonstration of the people in the nowadays and support of course, some problems, some difficulties has decreased the popularity of the state, but still, if something happens, such what is happening now, will show the percentage of support of Iranian people to the government of Iran. You know, please, 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 dear audience, I am talking to you. The reality of Iran differs from what the mainstream media is presenting. This is unfortunate, even in India. Please, I have asked Gita Mohan. I have invited different media of India. Please go to Iran. Whoever has traveled to Iran and visited Iran has seen and witnessed that the reality of Iran.
So the image of an orthodox
picture which has been presented by media.
Okay. So Mr. Ambassador, how secure therefore is Iran, given the fact that Israel has vowed to retaliate? How secure is Iran from this threat that Israel poses? The US has said don't target nuclear installations, but there is a question mark over oil installations, what that could do to the world. How secure does Iran feel today, given that there is now this omnipresent threat of Israel retaliating?
You know, your question could be answered in different aspects. First of all, we hope that Israeli Zionists, in fact, has reached to this conclusion and has learned a good lesson from the recent strike, and that any strike they will receive more stronger strikes. So it will be on their benefit to not do anything that will push Iran toward a react. This is first. Secondly, Iran has reached to a level of self-sufficiency in defense that can defend itself. Regarding nuclear installation, you know, we hope that the advisor or the Lord of Israel, which is United States, can convince or oblige it to not.
But are they listening to U.S.? Is Netanyahu listening to the U.S. at all?
But Netanyahu is receiving ammunition from U.S.
Okay. I really need to ask this. What is your expectation from India? Because there have been conversations with India. And India has a lot of interests there, not just in terms of oil, but in terms of infrastructure as well. So Indian interests in Iran, how badly can they be affected, and what are the conversations you're having with New Delhi?
Since the beginning of the tension between, this recent tension between Iran and the region, I explicitly and occasionally mention that India is an important country, influential country, not only at the region but at the international level. It has good relations with Israel. It can convince Israel to stop genocide. According to the Hinduism, genocide is not accepted. When you respect even a plant, when you respect an animal, so you cannot be silent. You cannot be indifferent regarding the genocide, ongoing genocide in Gaza. So India can use its influence to stop this genocide. Of course, there is a differences. You know, India called 7th of October as terrorist act. Okay. How many people were killed in 7th of October? How many people?
Over 1,000, which you presume, do you regard it as a terrorist act? Do you see 7th of October, sir, as a terrorist act?
Just,
Over 1,000 people.
Let's assume that
it was a terrorist act.
Let's assume that it was a terrorist act.
Yes.
1 is equal how many person? Nowadays, the number of casualties in Gaza has exceeded 41,000 people.
Your point taken, sir, but would you accept that it's a terrorist act? I take your point, Mr. Ambassador.
It means that
But do you accept that Hamas committed a terrorist act? Do you accept that Hezbollah's attacks on northern Israel will be seen as an act of provocation? Do you see when Houthis from Yemen target Israel, that's also seen as an act of provocation? And Iran is seen to protect all these groups.
No. You know, our viewpoint regarding the basis of the tension differs. So when the basis of the issue in your narration differs from mine, so
You're saying it didn't start on October 7th, it started with what you believe is the illegal occupation of Gaza and West Bank.
October 7 was a military operation by a resistance group, not a terrorist act.
That resulted in the killing of innocent civilians, sir.
Innocent people. You know, Israel also is doing military operation which is daily is killing innocent people, infants, old men. They are targeting residential
But Ambassador,
area.
every strike is leading to innocent people being killed, displaced. Look at Lebanon.
But
it's a severe humanitarian crisis today. People are going from Lebanon to Syria, which is also being bombed. There is no safe place for Lebanese today, and no safe place if countries continue to fight each other. Is there a solution?
So it's the duty of the international community and also India to stop Israel.
So what's the solution? What is the solution according to you?
Stopping Israel from its invasion to an expansion policy of Israel.
So talking about presenting the picture, you had just a while ago said that you'll invite Indian journalists to go to Iran. Are you going to assure us that we will be allowed to go to Iran, to cover Iran, to see what's really happening on the ground?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, that's an assurance.
That's good to hear, Ambassador.
Thank you.
I appreciate you joining us. You've taken the time, and we've given you the time to give your perspective, and it's important to have that perspective from Tehran. Thank you so much, Ambassador Elahi, for joining us.
Thank you. Thanks all audience for giving me time and India Today for this opportunity to have a frank and frankly and friendly talk about Iran, to give a true picture about Iran and Iranian policy.
Thank you so much.
Let's leave it there. That was the Iranian ambassador to India at a time when Iran is at the center of the conflict in West Asia. Thanks for watching.